Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm a little bit sick, I have a cold, or I'm not really sure what I have, but throughout the video I'm going to have a runny nose. So sorry if I keep making annoying noises with my nose or my mouth, or if I sneeze, sorry about that. And also another thing to remind you guys about, please consider subscribing to my channel, and please consider liking the video. So now let's get into the video. Today's video is going to be an episode on the heat wave that is most likely going to be happening across especially the southern parts of the country. I wouldn't say most of the country. Most of the country will be above average, but they won't be having a heat wave. However, some areas of the country, I would say prefer most likely areas, and in the southern plains probably, and the southeast are going to have, or just in general the south, are going to have the hottest temperatures. Some areas breaking 100 degrees, others just 90. But in order to qualify as a heat wave, I think it's a national rule that it needs to be 3 days or above, three or more days above 90, and that's at least for most locations. I'm not sure about the Southwest because sometimes you do get 90 degrees on a regular basis, but it does look like if it will really warm up, there's potential heat wave for much of the country. And even if your area won't be affected by the heat wave, it will most likely be affected by above average temperatures. So continue watching if you want to know more. But first, let's just take a look through the precip data on the model, and you can see this is a GFS, and it has it running through about 384 hours, which is about 10 days. So this is the storm that just happened, and it's still going on actually. Sorry, I need to sneeze. Sorry about that, but this is the storm that is happening right now across the country, and it brought quite a bit of severe weather. I am so sorry, guys. I know it's really frustrating, but I really wanted to make this video out to you. But this storm is happening right now across the country. I know my area got 2.5 inches of rain. At least that's what I got in my backyard rain gauge. 2.5 inches, which is perfect amount, not too much. We didn't get any major flooding, but at the same time it really saturated the ground and really everything soaked it up rather quickly. Everything was dry, and it does look like we'll be seeing a dry period for quite a couple of days. You know, maybe cold front will pass through one or two, but otherwise a severe weather event does not seem to be likely until mid next week or even later. But that is still so far out. There's still so much detail that right now, in my opinion, the biggest threat is the heat wave. So let's go to 2-meter temperature anomaly. So anomalies basically show you whether your temperature is going to be above or below average at a certain time and at a certain place. So you can see, let's pick for example Chicago, since that's where I live. So you could see this is 384 hours out, but let's go to just simply 0 hours out, which is right now the present. And you can see we go through this, and just a lot of oranges, couple of purples mixed in, but that won't last long. Mostly oranges and reds across much of the country. You can see this is just really hot temperatures for even for May. We went from a below average April to an above average May, and that really just ramped up the severe weather, and it might even have it earlier start to hurricane season. But you can see, especially once we start going further and further out, the temperatures are getting more and more ridiculously above average. And remember that even if it wasn't going to be above average, the temperatures are still slowly climbing. So let's say your average right now in Wichita is around 80 degrees. Well, maybe by May 19th, it will be 85 degrees. And that means if it's still the same above average, even if the colors don't change this much, when it comes to how much degrees above average, the temperature will change because the average is going up. So again, I'm thinking 90s and 100s for a lot of people. I'll bring you back and show you the actual temperatures one by one. So you can see this is quite a cool off for some parts of the northeast over the weekend, but you can see 60s, and mainly the hot weather is confined to the south. But You can see this is inching its way up north, and 60s and 70s soon break out across much of the country. And look at that, 70s, 60s, 80s across much of the country. And this is where the heat really starts developing, the southern plains. And you can see even some 90s already approaching the southern coast, and even further inland. And this is going to be the trend, I think. It's just going to get warmer and warmer. You can see the desert southwest, really warm temperatures. And this is going to slowly shift eastward. You can see 102, 103, Kansas, Nebraska, lots of Texas is going to be in the heat. And I think this does not go this far out, but I think that this heat will slowly shift into the plains and northeast. So we're currently dealing with a situation where a heat wave could be starting in the desert southwest, transitioning into the plains, and then into the northeast. But that is very unpredictable at this point, but that's one possibility. Another possibility is that it just stays confined to the southwest, and the northeast and midwest get missed by the heat wave. But as you could see, even if we get missed by the heat wave, there's still 80s, 84, 85 degree temperatures in much of these locations. I mean, look, Chicago 85 around, Des Moines, Iowa 80s, southern Arkansas also 80s, just picking out random locations. Texas, again, heat wave, hundreds. But in general, look at the nights. This is during the night. Look how warm the nights are going to be, 70s. So this is definitely warm temperatures that are going to be affecting much of the country. And that's basically it, guys. So if you want to subscribe to my channel, please do so. This video, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, wouldn't be a long video, so please consider subscribing to my channel. Please consider liking the video. And as always, stay safe. I'll be making more updates on this heat wave and the severe weather potential for mid-wet next week. And see you guys in the next episode.